Are you forgetting that you are the co-creator of your reality and you have the ability to script it? And are you utilizing that ability, or are you just watching things happen in your life? Now, I had something happen to me, which was such a whoa, right reminder of this. And it actually came from a child. So I am sharing with you in this video 3 keys to stepping into and remembering, like, oh yeah, I'm the co-creator of my life, and the 3 keys to how do we actually make the most of this ability. Let's dive right in. Why are you not using your ability to create your reality, to script it, to make what you want of it? So I have a very tangible example, and in fact, it came from a 9-year-old, all right? So a few evenings ago, I am there getting ready for a presentation. My laptop is on my lap. I'm sitting in the armchair in the living room, and she's asking me something. And I say, sweetheart, not right now. I am super busy. Okay, I'm trying to finish something up before having to serve the kids dinner. And as I'm typing it up, I'm finishing up, and I'm like, okay, I do need to reply to her. What do you want? And she goes, what are you doing? And I explained that I'm getting this presentation ready. Now it's in the foreign language because even though I've lived here in this country for a few years now, the language is still a work in progress and something that needs polishing. And I'm like, oh, about it. And so I explained to her that I have a presentation happening tomorrow and it's a topic that I'm excited about, but it still needs a lot of my work and a lot of my attention. And she goes, oh, how's it gonna go? And I go, well, you can ask me tomorrow. When you see me tomorrow after school, you can ask me, hey, mommy, how did the presentation go? And she goes, oh, but I'm not gonna see you tomorrow because they're gonna be other dads. And she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna ask you right now, how's the presentation gonna go? And in that moment, I want to tell her that's not how it works. But it is. It is exactly how it works. It's exactly how I teach them that it works. And so instead of telling her, sweetheart, you're not, but it hasn't happened yet, and explain that whole thing, I look at her in just with the most awe, loving so much the invitation that she provided and the reminder that she offered in that moment. And I look at her and say, you're right. It went phenomenal. It was amazing, and I felt so good about it. And it was amazing. It went really, really well. I'm tearing up right now as I'm speaking because we do not use this enough. It's always available to us. Why don't we use it? Because we buy into what we see, which is its previous frequency. It's not happening right now. Whatever you see is outdated. It is a reflection of the frequency that you had prior to this moment. So in this moment, you get to script, how do you want the next moment to be like? And now the reason that most people manifest the same thing and create the same thing in the reality is because it's like you have the same piece of paper in the photocopier and you just press, press, press. You don't change the paper, so you're just getting more copies of the same thing. But in every moment, you're like, wait, how do I want it to go? Right? So I could have gone, oh, I don't know, and I'm not sure. It's like, wait a second. How do I want the next 24 hours to go? How do I want to feel? And now the beauty is that with the feeling, when you are sturdy and grounded in the feeling that you are creating, the outside circumstances have no choice but to line up with it. If I were to let's go with my example, it's very tangible. If I were to go, I'm going to feel really good about, here's why it worked. The presentation did go amazing, by the way, but not for the reason that you think. When you come from this place of, all right, okay, I hope it goes well. I hope. It has to be a knowing. And the sturdiness, your energy has to be, no matter what, I'm going to be in this energy. So it's not about how will it tangibly go. I'm putting so much love into this. I'm excited about the topic. I like the twist that I brought to this topic. That's why it's going to go well, because I'm having a phenomenal time doing it. And in that moment, clearing any energy that I have about, oh no, what if it doesn't go well? Or, ooh, the anxieties, or, oh, what if I mispronounce something, right? Like all these worries. That doesn't have place because I'm just so freaking excited. I choose to bask in that frequency with no attachment to the outcome. So when I answer to her, it will go amazing. My mind did not even go into how will it be received? What will others think about it? What if something doesn't, or how are the slides looking, and so on. It was the basking from the current moment, because your power is in the present moment. From right now, I'm having a phenomenal time. And I choose to bring this very energy sourced from now and bring it forward to my point of focus in the future. Let me know in the comments if this makes sense. That is very different from, oh, I hope it goes well. Yeah, no, it's going to be okay. Or replying to her, well, I don't know. Or going into, yeah, that's not how it works. You're supposed to ask me tomorrow, how is it going to go? Because I don't know. Not only do you know, you choose. Similarly, with so many things in our lives, I was just talking to my eldest, my 12-year-old, about values, and for him to identify his values. And he says, oh, well, I don't know. And I say, it's not something you know, it's something you choose. You decide. You're not married to this. You can revise those values in the next 6 months, after 6 months. But this is something you're choosing for 6 months, or maybe a year for some people. So first point, right? Let's actually, I want to give you a structure. First, you're sourcing your power in the present moment, not being taken over there or hoping or past experience. Oh no, this is what happened last time I had the presentation. Right now, it's like you're gathering up all this energy of bliss, of certainty, of fun. I recently just was working with someone who attends my women's circles, and they had this huge thing, like a huge milestone in their life. They were writing their, PhD and presenting it. And throughout our work together, every time they show up to our event, they go, I was encouraging this energy of fun. And so this thing was just so heavy for so many people. They send me a message and they're like, and you know what? I had fun. Because they scripted it this way. When they had to take time off work and it was so stressful, and they're like, no, actually, I'm having fun with this. It's not going to be this burden or this heaviness. I'm going to have fun with this. And then having this actual experience of them, the day of their presentation, the people that are there, evaluating their thesis, they come after having tea all together and they're laughing, and like they reflected back the energy of fun that the person has scripted. They didn't have to have tea. They didn't have to have this whole gathering together that they did right before this person's presentation, but they did. And so at the beginning of her talk, she's having this energy of fun. They're laughing, they're joking with each other. And she's like, whoa, I scripted that. Every step of that experience was, again, so much work, so heavy. It wasn't. It was fun. It was exciting. So sourcing from the present moment and bring that energy forth, you get to decide how that will go from the fuel that is right now, the present moment. Number 2, the knowing, right? It's not a trust. It's a knowing. I decide. And sourcing from you, not from the end result. How is it going to go? It's going to go amazing because you're having fun right now. So there's no possibility of something going wrong because your definition of success is your energy. And when you're coming from this certainty, the outer reality has no chance, no choice, but to align with that which you have decided. Okay? Because you know with absolute certainty that everything is working out for you. Now, this is deeper work. I know I'm currently working with 2 clients that have that. I was just like, yeah, but how do I trust God? And it's like there's so much programming that teaches us to not trust ourselves, not trust our voice. So this is definitely deeper inner work that often has to be done for you to reach that kind of level of certainty. This is what I do with my one-on-one clients. If you want a clarity call to see if this work is right for you, a free clarity call, there's a link below in the description to see if we're in alignment. Worst case, after the half an hour call, we're not a match, and then I give you some resources, something that will support you in your next steps. Okay, so check that out if this resonates. Step number 3, coming into the deep breath. How much pleasure are you willing to allow? We often go into, yeah, well, I'll rest when. That's the dangling carrot. Yeah, your mind is going to tell you, follow these breadcrumbs of hard work and struggle and torture and overthinking. And if you follow these crumbs, they're going to lead you to a whole cake of abundance and bliss. How? What is the logic between that? But we don't question. We're like, oh yeah. That's how it's gonna work. You gotta work hard to play hard. No. You gotta allow more receptivity, more pleasure. So many teachers out there are gonna teach you how to overcome, how to do the uncomfortable thing. That's wonderful. That's important. But there are 2 wings of the bird. A bird with just one wing just spirals, okay? Crashes down. You gotta have 2 wings. Yes, loving the discomfort, having such a great intimate relationship with your shadows to the point that you love it. Not like, okay, well, you have to overcome this, but like, I love my shadow. When something comes up, this is my opportunity to build intimacy with myself. It's delicious. You want to have that relationship with the shadow. And you want to expand your capacity to feel pleasure, joy, receptivity, bliss. This is something that we deepen in Thrive in the monthly membership because it's a muscle to be trained. We're not taught to do this. We're taught to do the opposite, okay? Everyone struggles, so I'm supposed to do the same. That's how I'm part of the tribe. So many people, I remember in Thrive, actually, one of our calls, because we have calls every single week, because that, again, it's like energetic hygiene. You didn't brush your teeth once and you're like, I'm good for the year. It's a weekly thing. So we have these live calls every single week. And someone said, it's like when I'm too happy, I feel like something's wrong. Like I'm not getting something. Because that's what we're taught. You're supposed to struggle. So our muscle of pleasure, of receptivity, isn't stretched enough. Okay. It's not trained. So that is the 3rd step. How good are you willing to feel? And that's a choice. So in that moment, if I want to go into anxiety or uncertainty, right, that's a choice. And a lot of you will argue it's not a choice. Don't you think I don't want to be happy? No, I'm sorry. And I know this because I know for myself, so many moments where the story seems so real, your inner critic will say, no, that's how it is. But the truth is, we're using an outside situation, person, or circumstance to disconnect from our well-being, to disconnect from source, from God that sees us as just divine all the time. Everything's working out for you. I love you so much. This is how source sees you. And every time you say, nah, my life doesn't work that way, or here's what's wrong, or well, these people are struggling, these are your excuses to disconnect from that. Okay. And I know it's awful to hear, but once you accept that, you can actually move past that. So that is the 3rd one. Your openness and your willingness to choose pleasure, joy, well-being, alignment. Which one of the 3 which one of the 3 is your invitation? Maybe all 3. I mean, you're like, I don't know how to do either of those. Okay. Like neither of them. All 3 are like, in that case, first of all, there's a free gift, a meditation that works through all the 4 centers that are just, the first step is relaxing, okay? And we go through the 4 elements, and there's a free practice for you, an audio practice, either one element at a time, or you can do all 4 together, or just like, okay, I'm coming home from this place of home and groundedness. Then you can start working on the 3 steps. So let me know down in the comments, where are you at with this? which of the three is an invitation, not I'm struggling with this. This is my current invitation. Okay. Again, when you're coming from a place of fixing, no long-term result with this one. So everything is an invitation that we get to play with. And again, if this is something that you want to dive deeper into, we've got Thrive, which is weekly calls at, a huge fraction, like a fraction of the price of my one-on-one work. And if you want to go deeper in a 3-month container, then those are my one-on-one programs for men and for women, because the work is a bit different. You can check that out by signing up for a free clarity call, and we can take it from there. I thank you so much for being here, taking a deep inhale in. What is your next step? What is the invitation for you from these 3 steps? And tangibly, what does that look like? Many blessings, and I'm wishing you a very powerful day.